Good morning, everyone. All right, so yesterday we all saw the gap and the go, and now we're going to see if this follow through today. But there was a pretty obvious lack of participation of some stocks and markets, particularly tech caught my eye. But in part, maybe the size of the gap. I didn't compare the gap, like percentage wise, the size of the gap compared to the broader markets. But this gapped up into the resistance area, which it's pretty much stuck at right here. So I saw Apple and especially Microsoft yesterday. Microsoft couldn't even get above its opening price. And so I'm pretty interested to see if they can catch up today and participate. Um, so, yeah, we'll see. This is, things are up here a little bit, backing off in the moment. Uh, Microsoft out. It couldn't get going at all. Um, so looking at these, can they start to participate? It's here a little bit. Where's it? It's gapping in the middle of yesterday's range. Yeah. Um, so wide range bar up. It's got room to go higher. So far, just sitting here within the range, gapping up a little bit, but I want to see maybe a downside shakeout, some kind of pattern to suggest it can continue to move up. Look at Apple. That didn't do too much, gapped up, and it just sat there all day. And when it tried to turn up, it couldn't get above the high of the day. So, but it didn't give it back either. So, that's the plus. Is if it can hang here a bit, you know, maybe I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, whatever. It's got the potential to move up. It came down real hard. And one of the things I mentioned yesterday in the room was that look, you look at these charts and say, oh, maybe get up to the 200 or the 20, and maybe it does. But these are in downtrends. When the weekly charts are broken down under significant support, they came down hard. They don't have to get up there. And so once you get either, you could have a bearish day, a significant bearish day, not just a red bar, big topping tail, a gap down under a green bar, some kind of bearish event could set a high, a close under uh, prior bar's low, whatever. But now that we've got this turn, we'll just have to see how far it goes and where it stops. The saying goes, nobody knows. And we'll see if we get some kind of bearish event or whether it gets up there. And the closer it gets up toward obvious resistance areas like the 200 and minor resistance, talking about Apple, but apply it to anything, it's going to be the same thing. Right. So where the market's at. So up a little bit this morning, coming up into those pivot highs. And we've got a little support area. Just looking at what time this is. Yesterday, retest about 3 o'clock in the morning, give or take, and a little push higher. So does it stay above the overnight support area, which is, well, started from yesterday. It's pretty significant. But okay, smaller time frame. We've got the void, wide range bar, factory work, stay in the middle of the range, give or take on any pullbacks. You've got closing above the 20 now. Now, look, the 20 on the futures, yeah, it's going to be looked at by futures traders, but as far as a reference point, you really want to use the SPY or SPX as your reference point. I'm just looking where that is, 76, 57, 60. That's a little. This is a little above that. You can see the cursor on the 65-minute. So up for now, up at resistance. We'll see if it holds on. 5-minute chart, a little push and retracement, which would suggest it's getting a little tired for the moment. We'll see how much it consolidates up there. Right. Q's pretty much the same thing. Scroll that over. You can see the pivots there on the 65-minute. We got two pivot lows here. So not that far away. And probably, well, we'll see if this rolls over or not. I'm saying, to trading this today? It's already moved up considerable amount. It's probably more likely to sit here and consolidate than to move up significantly, but we'll see how it deals with that resistance. As you'll see, pretty much everything is up against, the future. It didn't participate, so this has got greater potential to possibly move up before reaching that area, but can it go alone? Likely not. The daily is somewhat similar, and the Russell, I'm going to turn that red up against similar resistance area and not taking out those highs from yesterday. So showing a little relative weakness below yesterday's high. So a consolidation day would probably be a good thing. Build an area of support. That's really the essence of a 1-2-3 pattern. Is a wide range bar. Ideally, it's got room to go up. A void of resistance, and this does. You can see right here. And then we'll see if it, tomorrow, if that does form, and then if it triggers. Gold is marking time, after that accelerated move. And you always got to be skeptical of a continuation of a move when you see it accelerate like that. Right? So accelerating from a base is good, even the second leg. But here, you give the benefit of the doubt to the uptrend. But if it moves up and just barely moves up and stalls, the momentum slows, and could be just a period of chopping around or begins to pull back. Oil held that big support area down there, and it's moving up from there, and it's got room to move higher. Probably hit $70, whole number. There's pivots over there to the left on the 65-minute, give or take. Maybe some oil stocks will continue to move up. Bitcoin down this morning. Now, this has just been a grinder. So we hasn't been as severe looking at the broader markets, what I refer to as a stair step down. But this self-correcting type of uptrend, a stair stepping, grinding move to the upside, leaves all of these support areas. Now, as it comes into here, I would suggest that Bitcoin is going to probably get stuck here for a while or whip around, and as it has been doing. Interest rates, up a bit, and let's see here. Yeah, that's the daily bar right there. Just up a bit into the top of all of these pivots. So as we get into the latter part of this week with those economic reports, we should see clearer movement in these interest rates. Spiders gapping up above the 20, above the 200s, clearly improvement from what was, and this big move down. Yesterday's low on the daily time frame is your first support. As we look at the 65-minute, trying to get my cursor lined up there. As it comes into this area, it suggests the upside is limited today. And we've got a big unfilled gap down below. So yesterday's low is, I would say, somewhat critical in the short term to hold. Gapping above, it's even if it does reach this resistance area and it starts coming in, unless something happens, news of some type comes out, it's unlikely to go under yesterday's low. Right? That's what this pattern suggests. Because if it did, something is very wrong. So that lines up our thinking as to SPX and what that might do. Is it likely to get up through here? Well, I guess anything's possible, but somewhere in this area, whether it's those pivots or those pivots, right, the closer it gets to that higher one, and I'm sure that 580, the more difficult it's going to be for it to go up. But that's a decent move from here to get up there. But hey, step by step, it'll deal with those at 576 area initially. And so you got a broad area of resistance over there, but got these pivots. So it's not as exact as saying, okay, there's two pivot highs and they're lined up with that minor support area, and that would be more significant as a reference point. Transports participated yesterday. That's good. They've got room to go up. So some of those transportation stocks, and just looking at the weekly chart, everything got killed on the way down. I'll say it again, downtrends. Things are broken down. So this moving up as it is, at some point, it's going to hit the wall. But it's great that this participated yesterday. Just looking at the cues where they're gapping. You can see the back off there, still under the 200. And you could see my cursor on the 65-minute is up against those pivots, pivots where they broke down from. So that looks like it should be a pretty significant resistance area for take, and under the 200. So that's more likely to stall. And SPX, nothing got touched yesterday. And so being up, pre-market, I was thinking, well, it's up. How far can it get? These weren't the strikes from yesterday, but it didn't get there. In any event, it was able to participate higher. But one of the things about yesterday, and we discussed this in the room, was that it was just slow. I mean, it was an initial pop and then just went dead all day. And so from that point, there weren't any significant moves. So the premium up above didn't really pop like what we wanted. Was, hey, give us some juice up there at 5,800 or better. And that didn't happen. Nonetheless, it didn't even get close to yesterday's numbers. And of course, it didn't get to the downside. So SPX closed above the 200. That's a positive. It's above the 20. The 50's way up there. It's not even a thought at this point. It's too far away. So 5-day average true range, it's actually a little less than 90. I just used these from yesterday as reference points. I think unless some news comes out, it's never getting down to 5,700 today. And besides, you've got a whole number. And so this is gapping up a little bit. So this could be dragged up to where the open might be. There's still, 15 or so minutes to go, give or take. I think this is a good number. And if we do get a little selling underneath, that should be a no-brainer. Buyers are in control until proven otherwise. And so that is within striking distance, and it's gapping up a little bit. So the downside is the better odds trade today. And that's about it. We'll see today whether it's a consolidation day or up, down, whatever it's going to be. But it'll be, well, not that yesterday was fast, other than the initial move up from the open. After that, it was just a crawl and didn't get that far from where it was first thing in the morning. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. We put on some nice positions yesterday, and we only have two shorts, and they're both doing fine. Clorox and Kraft. Clorox, nice little continuation short, and we're in this Kraft Heinz and trail mode, relative weakness. So, even it's possible to fight the broader markets, obviously, when you have a pattern on its own. Raul, our buy setup expert on YouTube, Sabra. It is a buy setup, yes, after breakout on support. So yes, it's fine. But overall, I question how it trades, just the crazy overlapping bars. But it is a buy setup, looks fine. I guess it was more controlled. Alarms here, I don't have many of them. MP had a little up alarm go off. We're in that. OPFI alarm. All right, we sold a third into the close. Let me reset the alarm higher now. $35 and $10.60, $10.60, $7. Upstart, I posted as a put spread for next week. And there were so many. And Greg, I just sent you an MT live trading beaten down patterns. And good subject for it right now. There's so many beaten down ones. Look, here's deck. So we called this MT live. Um, they're beaten down, but what do I do with it? Look at this thing, been selling off for a month. Well, the last 2 days, the character changed. Well, it's so rubber. That's what the thing will be about. I mean, so when I'm not going to do it here. We don't have time. We'll do it in the room. But I need to know your rationale and on what time frame. It is in a downtrend, daily, weekly, monthly, without a doubt. But look, don't you agree that the last two bars is the first significant difference in the whole way down? So it doesn't mean I'm going to hit the button long, but it means the character is now changed. And look at RH beaten down, but what? Yesterday was a gap breakout. RL, same, beaten down. Yesterday was the breakout day. So there's so many beaten down stocks. I had an alarm on X go off, but I think that was a false alarm. We sold the 38 or 30, 39 puts yesterday. And that's it on alarms. TTD up alarm. Some dog we've been in. Gapped up. Let's go to earnings here. Oh, I had one more alarm. TAN I posted. On TAN I posted to buy puts under yesterday's low. Downtrend, daily, weekly, monthly. A little upside shakeout here. Target is prior lows to start. Earnings. Oklo. 29.20, no pattern. But that's one of those energy stocks. So SMR, I don't have them memorized, but you can check them. KBH getting whacked. It's an ugly breakdown. You know, these CEOs on earnings or otherwise, they talk about the fundamentals, which you can't, which is reality, right? So fundamentals are tariffs, consumer confidence, interest rates. Do people want to buy homes? Particularly if they have an old home with a good locked-in mortgage. You know, they're married to that house for financial reasons because of the mortgage. And Len last week got whacked last Friday. Look at that gap down. We know housing has been bad. Look at downtrend. Sky X is opening flat, no pattern. EPAC 4250 down a little bit, no pattern. McKesson 76 and change. Gap in this part low, but I have no bias. I got no bias on this gapping over here. It's not a good long or a good short. So I just move on. This was down, now gapping up, no interest. San Francisco, it shows that it's flat. Pony, animal sector. A potential bottoming pattern, but it's junk. And you know, whatever time we have left, I'll review all our opens are just substantially better than this. Downtrend, daily, weekly, monthly, no interest. That's what we call railroad track. Declining 20 and parallel 50. That's ugly. Rum was up. I was gonna consider as a 30-minute high, but it just gave it all up. So now it's back to being consolidation and a downtrend. CRMD 880, nasty gap. Wow, I'm having a hard time finding tier one stuff here, at least on earnings. CSIQ, downtrend, daily, weekly, monthly. No good price void though to short. I like the sector tan better. Biot, that's a mess. Let me show you the quality ones I did find. I posted a few here pre-market. I was up early. Well, it's SMCI was in the weekend letter. It's still good to go. Friday's high. Had a downgrade yesterday, which is why had that little gap down. So Upstart, I mentioned put spread. Humana, Alex gave me. Look, that's bullish consolidation at resistance over yesterday's high. Put spread. Costco was a put spread. We never got filled, but I still like the pattern. The bounce, even directional to the 20. MPW, I posted breakout of ascending triangle. The entry is over yesterday's high. PayPal, bounce in a downtrend. You know, gap from all this consolidation with a void. And these patterns are all over the place. Like Greg showed you Apple. Now, Apple was a climo and a base. So it's more climactic, but you know, another similar one. By the high, stop yesterday's low, target somewhere there, the 2200. This L Lima. I think it was Brenda gave me this a few days ago. Breakout daily, weekly, monthly. I've been watching it, so now it's ready. You get a little, you know, minor little bear sandwich in there. Calm. Was this I forget who gave this to me. Was it you, Alex? But Ember's Head and Shoulder. As earnings coming up soon, but it's big old void, inverse head and shoulder. So that's a bounce trade. And that's it there. There's still a lot of Climos in the airlines. ALGT was one. So here's, yeah, this is perfect for our MT Live. It's beaten down, but what do I do with it? What do I do with this? The answer is I don't know yet. It could be a put spread, but they're too spready. AAL, Climo. See, this one made a better turn. I actually shorted puts on this yesterday, and I think Alex bought it. We are in Dow, Delta, and Alaska. That Alaska's lagging a little bit. So this one, I would want it to take out last week's high to get it moving. There's Jets, the ETF. See, Jets made the turn. So, when we talk about beaten down, but what to do with it? If I had to summarize, it's I need a pattern and a void, and I need a tail and a turn, a something something bar. That's the answer of when to do something. All right, Horseman, just selling off a little bit here into the open, which I like. I agree with Greg. It could be a go nowhere day. Uh, Here, look at Trump here. DJT had a gap up. So it's in a nasty downtrend. Look at these three moving averages. But it's a bullish gap to this last week's high. So if it can hold these gains, then I'll consider 30-minute highs for a bounce and a downtrend. Carvana got a upgrade, another bounce and a downtrend that made the turn and avoid. Yesterday was put spread heaven, but I just couldn't get the credits that I wanted. Baba here, big old topping pattern, and their CEO came out and warned of the AI bubble stuff too. But look at the daily weekly powerful uptrend. Well, it broke the uptrend on the daily, but that's a call strike candidate. It's extended and breaking down. I just had an alarm on the White House, another airline. I love the bottoming tail, new low reversal, and then it gapped up yesterday. So that I like. Let's put that on the bottom right here. That could be a 30-minute higher. MPW just triggered cleanly, so that's good to go. Unless you have a rule that says don't trade in the first 5 minutes, but I call it a clean hit, meaning it didn't gap over the entry, so I'm going to record it. Yeah, very quiet day. I don't have any alarms going off on all our opens. I mean, that Tesla alarm went off, but I gave you all a target, higher target. AMI up alarm, Humana up alarm. Wow, that's right up alarm. Wow, that's a lot of alarms getting thrown at me here. Humana's a new trade, the other ones are open. Humana, let's see what strikes I want. And it was spready, so I doubt we're gonna get filled right away. I might have to even lower it now. Take 260. Yeah, they're spreading. Midpoint is 82 and I wanted 90. I'll go ahead and set an order out at 90. Tell you if I get filled. Oh shit, I got filled instantly. Um hmm, I got filled instantly. Let me give them a warning. STR up alarm. Nice. We're in this. Yeah, a lot of our logs here. Nice up alarms. Mm, 55. Yes, red alarm. Let's raise them. All right, we're pulling in here a bit, so and I can kill 3, 6. Ah, cool. Yep, I just saw my alarm. Nice. Nice, Alex. We only have two shorts. Yeah, we're gonna cover a third here. MPW off to a good start. Out, slow and steady. KMI, move stop. 28, 48. That would be a shocker. I'm not impressed with this Ludwig guy. He gets on TV with a straight face. And he says tariffs don't increase costs on consumers. Dude, just shut up. When my pickup truck is now 20,000 more. It's just it's just stupid talk. Right, where else I can And then him coming out last week saying Tesla owners shouldn't sell their stock. That is not his job to be telling shareholders how to trade their stocks. That's stupid. I mean, being a puppet is one thing, but just talking asinine stupidity is different. All right, so the AD line had a big old gap down. It's at 500 and looks lower, but Qs are holding here. Netflix and Apple on fire. Yeah, Apple looks higher. It's a beautiful void. climb a nice 15-minute chart. I think it's going to go through the 20 myself and go up to the 200. Yeah, this X, all right, it's bouncing back. We have at least we got filled on those puts on the pullback yesterday. So yeah, now we got a nice gain. But they're a little spready. I'm gonna bid for some. I mean to get out, not to open. All right. Those are all my alarms. No, wait, maybe not. ADX. Ah, that's what I got for my brother, for my dad. ADX. All right, things, yeah, back to the things. I've just turned garbage trading, but I agree with Greg. I think it's going to be a swap test today. Wow, nice. Wow, you sat through that? We stopped out of ours break even. Once it had that big old breakout, I moved ours break even. Man, you sat through a big pullback. PFI alarm. Oh, PFI. Let's move stuff. Um, about 10:38. Yeah, we sold a third yesterday.